Yo guys, what is good? This is Games Techno and today we are testing Call of Duty Warzone's Season 5. That is the brand new season of the game, and we're going to be testing it with our boy GTX 750 Ti, of course, and we're gonna see how the game runs in terms of frames per second and how the basically overall experience is. Now, quickly before starting, the specifications of my PC, that is of the three components that are needed for gaming. The first one being the CPU, that is the Ryzen 3 1300X, basically a first gen Ryzen processor, Ryzen 3 processor, that is, no overclocks applied to it. The RAM in my PC is 16 gigabytes of 8x2 CORSAIR Vengeance 3000 speed RAM. And then last but not the least, as I mentioned earlier too, the GTX 750 Ti 2GB card, single fan edition, and the card is from ASUS. No overclocks applied again to this one as neither as well. I don't know which word to use, but yeah, whatever. Now, all the timestamps of whatever section you want to check for this video will be in the description, and YouTube chapters will also be available, which is like one or the other thing. So you can basically go through whatever section you want to go through, and you can skip whatever you want to skip. So for all of you folks who are just here for the FPS numbers, let's just get them out of the way first. The average FPS I got throughout my half an hour of testing is 44 frames per second, which is not a very good number when we're talking about a competitive shooter. So we're not doing very good here. The 99% FPS is 32 frames per second, which again is not a very good number for 1% lows or 99% FPS. By the way, I was not able to use MSI Afterburner for this benchmark. I don't know why it was not working in the season 5 of COD Warzone, but it was not for some reason. So I had to use the performance overlay that is provided by Nvidia themselves with the GeForce Experience thing. So that's what I used for these numbers. 32 and 44, not very good numbers for competitive shooters, and I'd say it's getting like worse by every freaking season. I haven't even checked what numbers I got for my last testing, which I did in season 3, I suppose, but I'm quite sure that I can feel that the game is not performing as well as it did back in season 3, and before that, even when I tested it for the first time, not necessarily posted it on the channel, the game ran a lot freaking better. With all the seasonal updates, things are getting worse, bro. And it's not only me. I watch some YouTubers sometimes, and just for the sake of it, I don't even have some cards for which I watch the videos, like 1650 Super, 50 570 and whatever. Now those things are having troubles too. I watched one of ZWormZ's or Crisp's videos, and he was saying the same thing. Like, COD Warzone is getting messed by every freaking single season release. Now the CPU and GPU usages or utilizations in my case were both 95 above, the CPU utilization being 97% on average and the GPU utilization being 96% on average. So basically, if you've got these components, you can use both the parts at 95% or more usage. This is basically the best the 750 Ti it can do. Now, this software, this Nvidia logging system for getting the FPS and everything, does not log the information about the RAM. But one thing I can tell you about the RAM is you need at least 16, I'd say. I don't know, I think 12 will do, but you need to have the RAM in dual channel. One stick of RAM in COD Warzone, a big no. Now you can see, I tested the season 3 of COD Warzone, but I did not test the season 4 because at that time one of my RAM sticks were broken, and I tried to benchmark the season. I even have the thumbnail ready for that video. I had I'll show you that thumbnail on the screen. It was never used. Now I even had a thumbnail ready and everything, but just could not get the game to work. It opened and it was I don't know, it was a slideshow. Basically, it was a freaking slideshow, trash 100%. So you need to have dual channel RAM is what I'm trying to get at. Okay, so here we are in the video or graphic settings of the game so that we can have like a little bit deeper of a dive into the settings. These are basically 720p lowest possible settings, but you know, just in case you're confused for a setting or whatever. The display mode is set to full screen, of course. The monitor is like my monitor. The display adapter, as you can see, is the GTX 750 Ti. The screen refresh rate, I've got a 60 Hz monitor only, so that's what it is. The render resolution is set to 1280 by 720. The aspect ratio is set to automatic. The VSync is disabled. The custom frame rate limits are all set to 300. Not like we're gonna get 300 FPS. I've already told you about the FPS figures. Okay. Then comes NVIDIA highlights, which I've disabled. The NVIDIA Reflex low latency is set to enabled plus boost, though we don't even know if it works with the 700 series cards, which it probably does not. But it doesn't hurt to, you know, turn these settings on. So yeah, we just keep them there. Then comes the streaming quality, set to low. Texture resolution, very low. Texture filtering is set to low as well. The particle quality is set to low. Bullet impacts and sprays are disabled. Then comes the tessellation, that is set to disabled. On-demand texture streaming, disabled. The shadow map resolution, low. Cache port shadows, disabled. As I've told you already, everything is disabled. Low, lowest, whatever the heck is the minimum thing for the setting or the option. Cache sun shadows, again disabled. Particle lighting set to low, and of course DirectX ray tracing is turned on and is set to ultra. The ambient occlusion is set to disabled. The SSR screen says yes. The screen says reflections are set to disabled. And the filmic strength is set to 1. I think this is the default value. I haven't changed it. The anti-aliasing is turned off. Depth of field is disabled. Motion blur of the world is disabled. Motion blur of the weapons is disabled as well. The film grain is set to 0. I think this must be the default value as well. The dynamic resolution is disabled. So the dynamic resolution's frame rate target doesn't even matter. So these are basically the settings. Okay, so here we are on the ground with our, of course, trusty pistol in our hand and the commentary guy shouting at us, I suppose. People are still landing and footsteps everywhere, every freaking where. And in this game, I've got like no freaking knowledge where the loot is supposed to be found. I mean, sometimes I find the, doors very easily, and sometimes it's like a hell of a task to get inside the freaking buildings, that is. So right now the search for the doors is ongoing, and I've like gotten no success so far. So trying to change the areas, basically getting the hell out of this one. People have already like gotten to the ground, gotten the ARs and SMGs and everything, because we can like hear those thingies. That was nice aim right there. I mean, the FPS are not very good. Like, you've already seen the results, and they're not like aim worthy FPS either. But my aim is not that good in this game either, so you can't totally blame the game. So I don't know if we've got an LMG or an AR. I think we got an LMG, and now we've got an AR as well, which looks like an okay. Maybe we can get this kill. Barely. We had like 25 health left there, but still we made it. Got my first kill. The first, and it just might be the last kill. I'm not very good at this game, as I was saying, I mean, some of my friends who do not play Apex Legends, they complain like of player visibility, that they cannot see the enemy players on the map. And as I am not a very good Warzone player, I can feel that in this game. I can totally see the enemies in, Apex Legends, even if I'm like playing it 102 by 768 sometimes, which I'm not doing right now. Like, I mostly play at 720p or 768p. But in this game, it is a freaking trouble for me to spot enemies. I mean, we're gonna see in a few freaking seconds. Why am I telling you this whole freaking story? Okay, so people have been through here. I heard some gunshots, and the sound in this game is weird AF. Everything in this game for me is weird AF, bro. I don't know. Like sometimes the sound seems to be like loud as fuck basically, and that guy who's like always shouting whenever the care packages are coming, somebody is scanning you. Like half the mechanics of this game, I don't get him. I just play this game on, you know, seasonal releases for the sake of these videos, and I really don't know like the whole mechanics even of this game. What is a, you know, care package? I mean, I know what a care package is. I don't know when, you know, hostile in the area, or the enemy is scanning you, or the enemy is I don't know, chasing you, whatever they say. Circle closing now, I get that, you know, the ring is closing basically, so that's what it is. The guy always shouts at you, the, I don't know, leader or whatever.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Looks like the voice which is basically incorporated in COD tutorials, you know, in the single player games, in the tutorials area. This is like, this sounds like the same guy. I mean, it can be a similar voice. He might have a similar voice to the COD tutorial guy, that is. Yeah, so no luck so far, only got a kill and could not even find another person. Okay, that is a legendary Magnum right there, and I'm stupid enough to swap for it. Even though I know that my aim sucks in this game, even with spray weapons, I picked up a freaking like aim heavy weapon, a Magnum. This is basically the wingman of this game, I suppose. Scouting through the area, no freaking reason. I thought that was an AFK person, you know. That's the only logical explanation I can think of right now. I must have thought that. Why else would I like shoot in the freaking air? Look at that, the loud ass freaking noise. What is it coming from? I don't know. It might be a car, truck, whatever. This game has like insane vehicles, and wherever they're like stationary, they make these loud AF noises. I don't know how many times I've like mentioned loud AF in this video. This game is like loud AF. Okay, I can hear footsteps. Where are you at? Like, you see? I mean, this was not even an issue of the visibility. I did not know where he was. I was looking like above the stairs. I was like, maybe I can find someone. Straight to the gulag, boys. Straight to the gulag. And I hate this cutscene. I really do. I don't know. I just, you know, did not skip it, but I still hate it. It's like this guy freaking punches you in the face and whatever. I hate it. I feel it like personally. It's in the first person perspective and it hurts bro. It really does. Okay.
Win here and you return to the front line. You lose your fight.
Okay, spoiler alert, we ain't gonna return to the front line here. Basically I did not know that the gun was in the burst fire mode, or this weapon was a burst weapon. So I was trying to use it as an automatic gun, and that's that. Yeah, that was all for the gameplay. Okay, so here we are in the verdict section of the video, which is going to be a pretty small section. As we've already talked about the FPS results, you know, you've got the average and the 99% FPS. I must still give them on the screen right now. Here they are. Now, the game is a competitive shooter. I mean, even if you are a casual player and you do not play competitively ranked or whatever, this game is a competitive shooter. Nobody can deny that. And getting like 45 FPS on average and 30 as the 1% low just does not cut the freaking cake. It just does not, you know. It does not make to the list of Jericho. I don't know what I'm talking about, but this game is freaking unplayable. Basically, it is a first-person shooter, and for first-person shooters and competitive-natured games, I do not like them to have below 60 FPS. But if you are a 30-45 FPS guy and you think you can make it, definitely go on. Just make sure to have dual channel RAM and CPU capable enough, like somewhere around the Ryzen 3 1200. Mine is a little bit stronger than that one. Something along those lines. Basically a quad core, a modern quad core rather, not with necessarily with 8 threads, you know, the Ryzen 3 3100 and all. The first generation Ryzens even can handle the 750 Ti at 720p. Yeah, that's basically all. Finally, I can uninstall this game.